I'm here to talk about the female body image in a battle to be perfect. This is going to be a very sensitive topic, and I hope that everyone comes with an open mind. And I know there's going to be women that can relate to at least one thing or more that I'm going to discuss in this video. This is a very sensitive topic. So I just need you guys to just flow with me and understand a lot of things that I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of things in the news lately, or just over time, or things that I have experienced that have led me here to this one video. So, over time with women, we have been objectified. We've been seen as trophies in the modeling industry. It is predominantly ran by women. You will see a lot of female models and not a lot of male models, but because we dominate the modeling industry, women have to look a certain size, and also, most of all, we have to meet standards in society. So because of all of these things, women are bullied, harassed, degraded, belittled, and compared to other women. So that causes us to go under the knife, harm ourselves, go into depression, suffer from mental health and mental illnesses, and it is damaging to someone's mind. It can harm somebody in the sense where I am trying to be this perfect person, but we're going to discuss who this perfect person is that every woman is supposed to look like. So I was watching a video with the YouTuber, and I'm not even going to say his name, but a woman called into his show, and she gave her weight and her height, I believe, and he didn't even want to continue the conversation with her. He was just like, look, I don't even want to have a discussion. You're overweight. You're built like a linebacker, and that's not attractive to men. And for him to call her a linebacker, that just blew me out the water. Like, how do you say to a woman you've never seen and never met that because you're a little over 200 pounds, you are done for? Nothing can be done with you. Like, that is hurtful to a woman's self-esteem. Now, I'm going to say you one thing about me. I don't do the scale check. I do the mirror check. All right. There are a lot of women out here that are fitness models, or not even fitness models, and they're over 200, a little over 200 pounds, or a little under 200 pounds. They're, either on either side of the fence there, and their bodies are built beautifully. Their bodies are carved beautifully, but they just happen to be a little under, or somewhat over 200 pounds, and there are men that love it. But if you took weight out of the factor, they still are built beautifully. There are men that love thick and big women, and they're not even going to admit it, especially around their homeboys. They're going to be like, oh, I don't like no big girl. But behind closed doors, that's all they watching. But they're not going to say it because the big or the thick woman is not society's standards. We all have to realize that we are built differently and designed differently, and there's things that factor into how our bodies are set up. There's things that impact how we are built. Genetics is a factor. Everyone has different metabolism. Our environmental factors come into play, but we're going to discuss that later. And then naturally, women and men are built differently in a sense where women have more fat content and less muscle than men, and compared to men, of course, who have more muscle and less fat content. Now, there are some women that, because based off of the way they work out, that they are stronger than men, but that's a whole nother story. We're not going to go there. Now, let's look at the woman and the man as the woman being the beauty and the man being the beast. And because the woman is the beauty and the man is the beast, the woman has to have the top-notch body. She has to be in shape and perfect. And then you have the man who does not have those same pressures. But imagine a world where women were all the same size and we were all shaped the same way. I mean, flat stomach, big booty, nice thighs, nice chest, nice everything. There would be absolutely no variation at all. And you know, men like different types of sizes. And that would just make every woman in the selection for women boring. If there's a man that likes a woman that's a little fuller, you wouldn't be able to find her because every woman's the same size. So who is this perfect woman that we're supposed to be modeling after? But I'm going to get to that later. Now, everyone is beautifully made different. Okay. This is not enough for the rest of the world because people want everyone to be perfect, especially women. They want women to be perfect. I will never forget that Tyra Banks was on her show, and what had been happening around that time, there was a picture circulating of her in a swimsuit, and you know, she was looking a little fuller. And you know, Tyra Banks, I don't care what size she is, she has always been a beautiful Ethiopian queen. But regardless of the fact, in her prime years of being a model, do you know what she's had to go through in order to maintain that size? Honey, it is not easy out here. But Tyra Banks got on that show and she was fed up and she said, y'all can kiss my fat you know what. And I was like, yes. It was almost like, I'm sorry for not being the size you wanted me to be all my life and even up until now. I'm looking at Megan Thee Stallion, and she performed the other day. And this was after she called out Tory, and people are like, yo, she looking a little chunky, a little thicker. Is she pregnant? I had people say, sis, is there something you want to tell us? And I'm just like, oh my God. Megan Thee Stallion is still like slender. And if you compare her to when she was younger, yeah, there's a little bit of a size difference, but she still looks good. Come on, people. Let's get up off her neck. But there is a web of women throughout the world, and they are all connected in a sense where one woman is looking at another woman and she wants to be her size, and then that woman is looking at another woman and she wants to be her size. But who is at the top of this web? Who is the woman that the woman is using as the model to say, hey, you need to look like her? Who is the prototype? Who is the woman that we say, your body is perfect, you need to look like her? Because guess what? That same woman who is considered the prototype is struggling with her body as well. Or her body will change as well. So I'm just trying to figure out, who is this woman? Who is she? I don't know. And sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, dang, can women catch a break? Can we catch a break? We're on the surgeon tables. We're in the back alleys. We're at weight loss consultations. On top of the fact, we're at the nail salon, the hair salons, and at the spa, and at the gym trying to get right. And again, it's still not enough. And women do so much to be let down. There's women that's trying, and they're still, again, being belittled and degraded and put down because they're not looking like this imaginary woman, and I still don't know who she is. Women are not perfect. We're not robots. We're not Barbie dolls. We gain weight, we fall off, and then we get back on. And another big thing that I want to discuss is that there are women that have babies and they try to snap back. There's some women that have babies and they don't snap back as fast. And you have some, but not all. You have some men that leave the woman and the baby behind because the woman is not getting back to where she was before, which is very, very immature and insensitive. And a strong man would say, baby, okay, he looking at her, she put on whatever weight after the baby, gave birth to my child. Okay, look, all right, I'm going to get herself together. And then, I'm going to go and kiss her on the forehead. And I'm going to hold her hands. And I'm going to say, okay, baby, let's get right. Be smooth with it. Don't degrade or just cop out on your woman because she not looking like she did before. That is horrible. Women are magical, and we give birth to these beautiful babies. And why are you going to leave me because I don't look the same as day one? Help me. Don't hurt me. There are some women that have medical issues, and they are trying to stay active. You know, we dibble and dabble in the chips a little bit, and then, we back to trying to get back on. Women are trying. As the beauty, we are trying, but some men do not understand. It's like, why do you not look like this, and why do you not look like that? Who is this woman? And I'm going to ask that question throughout the video. Who is this woman that you want me to look like? Women are ridiculed, bullied. We starve ourselves. We stick cotton down our throat. We skip meals. We over-exercise. We suck in our stomachs. We can't eat before we go to the club or an event. We wear waist trainers. We use creams and gels with the waist trainers. We curse out our family members because when we come home on the holidays, it's just like, oh, you're gaining weight. What's up with you? And then you're like, oh my God. And again, they get cursed out because we are all human, and we're not supposed to just be robots out here staying the same all the time. I mean, Lord have mercy. Somebody please play Unpretty by TLC. Now, earlier I said something about the Beauty and the Beast. And, there are men that do not harass and belittle women. They don't. They understand that all women comes in shapes and sizes. They're not thinking about the seesaw that we go through and the weight changes they're not thinking about that. They just love women. They're not into that whole bashing thing. But for the men that do bash women, what if I said, listen now, what if I said that every man needs to be built and have muscles? And if you don't, that means you are not attractive. That means to me that you cannot protect me, that you cannot lead your household the proper way. Because I feel like if you don't have enough strength, you cannot lead. Because you are skinny, because you are out of shape, you're not the alpha male. You're not muscular. And you don't look like whoever that person is. You don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't look like Kai Green. You don't look like Phil Heath. You don't look like the typical muscular man, so you can't leave my household. If you're telling me that I'm out of shape and I don't look a certain way, why don't I say the same thing about you? Do you think that's fair? And again, I'm telling you, there's men that don't harass and belittle women. I want to stress that again, but there's men that do it. And again, if you don't have those muscles, you can't leave my household. Is that fair to say? That's not fair to say. So why put pressure on the beauty when you can't be that beast? Nobody is perfect. No man or woman is perfect. You might have a little butt, little gut, a little more here, a little less there. It is okay. People are trying to maintain and lose their weight. And let me tell you something, ladies, and getting strictly back to my ladies. All right. I encourage you to work out, tone, get in shape, and maintain yourself as much as you can. Let's think about it. Yes, we go through so much as women. You have to develop a mindset in the fact that there are things that impact me genetically, environmentally, etc., that make me this certain way. But I'm going to put myself in a mindset where I'm going to stay active and maintain myself. I don't want to get out of shape. There's things that's going to impact my life. But if I center myself and get back on, I will be okay. You don't have to be this heavy hitting, hard charge fitness freak. If you go for a walk, girl, jog or run, you can do bodybuilding, weightlifting, do a little bit of weights. You can go swimming or play tennis, stay active, so it's for health reasons. Get your blood circulating properly. Think about diabetes and heart disease and all that stuff like that. But it's a mindset you have to develop, but don't feel pressured to feel like you need to look like a particular woman. Function within your own vessel. But if you heard me say stay active for the sake of preventing certain diseases. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's all about a mindset, but don't let anybody push you to the point of depression and harming yourself because you're not where you're quote unquote supposed to be. Because if he doesn't love you in the way you are, somebody else will. Now, I'm just thinking about the fact that there are people that will look at you and say, you know what, you're not in shape or you out of shape. My thing is that these people are saying this based off of their perception and what they want you to look like. Again, what they want you to look like. So here you have one person that's saying you're not in shape. And that's them just looking at you and saying that. So now I have to bow down to your perception and what you want me to look like. But I will ask the question again. Who is this person in your mind that you want me to look like? For years, I've been listening to the song called Creep by Radiohead. I love this song. And I will never forget these lyrics. And they say, I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. And when I think of those lyrics, it makes me think of societal pressures. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. You know what your perfect body is, and you know what your perfect soul is. We will never be able to reach perfection because we are not perfect. All we can do is with our souls reach from within and work on ourselves on the outside to then create a good body on the outside. I want everybody to love themselves, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. Don't let the opinions of society hold you down. Push on and be confident with yourself. Don't let anybody pressure you into being this imaginary person that they can't give you a picture of. They say they want you to be this, but you're that girl. So develop that mindset. Know that you want to stay active on either level 1 or 10. Whoever this girl is that society wants you to be, she's going to forever be in question. We don't know who she is. Nobody can tell you. Don't starve yourself. Don't harm yourself. Don't put yourself in a position where you can't get out of bed because you don't have a big enough butt. Your waist ain't small enough. Your thighs are too this and too that. Minister to yourself. Talk to yourself. Go out there and get the body you want. Don't sit on no surgeon's table. I'm not judging nobody. Don't sit on the surgeon's table and do those things. Do what's best for you. Because trust me, and I'll say this again, if he doesn't love it, somebody else will. But make sure that you love you. You guys, leave your thoughts below and tell me how you feel. This is a safe space to give your opinions on what you, or give me your story on what you've been through. You can give me your story on what you've been through. I know as a woman, I've been through a lot. I've had, eating disorders, and I've starved myself, and